Greetings, citizens. This is your Coalition Dead Boys podcast coming at you today, along with our Death Head Taco Truck guy.
Me, Nate. Hey, guys, how's it going?
We greet you warmly, and today we are not going to spare anyone's feelings. Your government is tired of having to worry about your feelings. I mean, what about us?
No.
Your government has feelings too. And your government is going to be absolutely savage today.
Absolutely.
For you, what's his name? Zaged?
Zaged.
Kickstaged? X-A-G-E-D.
Fantastic subject to bring up with something we haven't brought up
He needs
before.
a pronunciation guide with his name too. But that's okay. This is for you.
I'm okay.
We've said it 5 different ways, so we definitely got it right. Now, first things first, what is new with real life and what is new from...
Bless you.
And what is new from the Megaverse?
Let's see here. They've done a couple of summer sales.
They have, and
they're doing okay. I haven't heard about any new books coming out or anything of that nature. That doesn't mean that doesn't. I mean, they've got the Kickstarter stuff that they're trying to push out still, which I think both of us have.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
And so we're excited for that.
Anybody who has gotten their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff already, please let us know.
That comes out in September.
That's right. So, that is in September? Okay, good.
Yes. So
now everybody knows. September.
We are so excited. Oh my
yes, we are.
Can I be so excited? Oh, there's some stuff that I want to see.
Some of us were very, very generous.
Oh, yes.
So, some of us are
I know a couple of people were generous.
Yes.
So I am excited for that.
I only know one person.
Aside from that, I am not aware of anything new coming out. That doesn't mean that there's nothing new coming out. It does mean that maybe it's a secret project and they're working on it. Blah blah blah.
I can tell you something new.
Ooh.
I am going to SaltCon this year in June, and I'm going to.
Can I come?
I am going to represent. If you want to show up on Saturday as well, because that's when I'm going, you can come too. Kerry's going to be there with his game. I am going to be there though as a Megaverse ambassador. My apologies to Mick Carey, and I will play his game once.
That's fine.
But more than that, no, he's going to do his thing. I'm going to do mine. And if you want to tag along, let me know. I'll give you the date.
Yeah,
but so we're doing that. We're going to go to SaltCon and represent, help get the Palladium word out there, and well, we'll get back to that topic in a minute.
Okay.
What is new in new news? To find us, so Coalition Dead Boys, we have our YouTube channel,
right?
And I post on Facebook from it is Squid Mood. I had to.
Yeah, you have many different names.
I have many different names on Facebook. Yes,
it's okay. I like that.
No, it's the only way
you just need to know what to look for.
I don't want people to associate with me. I want them to associate with what I'm doing.
Right.
That is what Facebook should be for.
Yeah, I agree.
And plus, again, I don't want to be associated with me because I want to associate. I am pulling a Batman. I wanted to associate with this symbol. Because a symbol is incorruptible. A symbol is always there. Yes.
I don't like using my own name online.
So unless
I barely use my name to pay my taxes online.
So unless you're Disney, a symbol is uncorruptible. So
ouch. Burn. Okay.
Come for the jokes. Anyway, we are going to just launch right into a discussion here.
Sure.
That was the other thing that we forgot to do, though, because I'm pretty sure that everyone will actually want to hear this. A new game started last week. Tell us about that. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm doing a brand new idea where I have a brand new fort for Coalition, and because I'm putting in. Okay, those who are familiar with Louisiana. All you fans from Louisiana, you know about Fort Polk, and you know about the popularity of Fort Polk. And I've taken Fort Polk and put it in the Rifts universe, and It's run by the Coalition. It's surrounded by the swamps. It's surrounded by the dinosaurs. It's, a Merctown regular thing.
A Louisiana Rifts game.
Oh, it is so... It's going to be so much fun. I'm having so much fun just putting it together. And the players are having fun interacting with some of the details that are coming in and out. The little drops and hints about what's going on in the background is fun. The fact that all the players are new to the area, because I said none of the players have ever been to Fort Polk.
Nope.
They're brand new imports, and that means as a GM I get to introduce them to the elements instead of saying, "Oh yeah, you just know everything." And
well, you've definitely struck a chord with Andy. He's been sending you stuff all over.
Oh,
the place.
He's been just so excited.
He loves.
I'm
Fort Polk.
having such fun putting this thing together. So,
in fact, I think we shall have to rename him that. His name now is Andy K. Polk.
That's awesome.
His last name never did suit him. So,
do you got anything new? You got a new game too.
Well, just what's starting today. Games that I'm running. Wheel of Time is my favorite game that I do on Wednesdays. I love that game. It really has become my favorite thing in the world. My only gripe is that we spend so much time screwing around that nothing gets done.
Oh.
But that just tells you how much fun we're having.
That's about friends.
That is
cool.
the fun that we're having. The new one that starts today, well, some of you perhaps are familiar with the Library of Bletherad. It's from
Palladium Fantasy.
It's from Palladium Fantasy. So I guess we're both applying new things to Rifts Earth. I wanted to do something with Atlantis, but I didn't know what, and I kept thinking, no, I want to do Atlantis, not Underseas, even though Underseas would be fun too.
Oh yeah.
So I kept saying Atlantis. It's Carnival Land. It's Coney Island, run by evil alien intelligences. So which again states why I really wanted to do something with this.
Right.
And the Library of Bletherad has allowed me to tell a very unique and personalized story. And this one, we are keeping this small. I don't think we're going to be able to escape the slaves seeking freedom. I'm pretty sure that slaves seeking freedom will be a thing. But from the sound of most of my players, everybody actually wants to be affiliated with someone. So I think we actually are.
Cool.
I think this isn't just going to be slaves fighting for freedom.
No.
This actually is going to be this Atlantis game is going to be the subtle and inert politics behind that actually goes into running a theme park, because that's
pretty much
what Atlantis
the slave.
Well, that's what Atlantis is.
Some of it is.
It is a theme park that is a front for a slave operation.
There you go.
You go.
That could be fun.
But apparently, it's not just going to be, again, like I said, it's not just going to be slaves seeking freedom. This one actually is going to be. We've got people representing the rebellion. We've got people representing Atlanteans. We've got people representing the Preserve and dragons and the Splurgoth themselves. So this actually is going to be So we're adding a new attraction to
a race to find.
I don't know. This is
between several factions.
I don't know yet, because the game hasn't
really
officially started.
It could get
excited. It will start today, and once I actually see what we have, I will know more. But for right now, that's all we really know, is that yes, the library has reappeared. So
That's a great
that
start.
Really is all that I can. That is the start.
Is a great start.
That is my opening line.
I like that.
The library has reappeared. It vanished out of which, if you've read the Library of Bletherad book, that's actually where I got this idea. Because the library, it's not exactly easy to find. Have you read?
Yoda is not easy to find.
Yoda is always there, but the library is not. The library is like the Beast's Castle from Krull. It jumps from
my freaking
place to place. Sometimes in the ocean, sometimes in the mountain.
Read that book.
Sometimes in the desert, but never in the same place twice.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Holy smokes!
Well, it's part of the security measure. That's why
it keeps crazy.
Yes, it keeps the.
That's why the zealotry hasn't destroyed it.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Well, because everyone was wondering. Oh, so there's an answer question for you. If you're wondering why the zealotry never destroyed the library, there you have it. It doesn't stick around long enough. Now, today, a very special thing today for our friend who asked us to do this today. We're going to discuss a very fun topic, but I'm afraid fingerlings are going to get hurt because today it's going to be Savage.
Ooh.
I love Savage Rifts.
I love Savage Rifts too.
Savage Rifts is a very, very great thing. The team up with... let's see if
with the cast of Savage Rifts.
Okay, so there's an introduction here by Kevin, which...
Of course.
I would encourage everyone to read. Oh, and we probably should have looked this up before we started, but there is the... Okay. Okay, so Pinnacle Entertainment Group. That is okay. We'll go with the entertainment group. I don't remember the gentleman himself's name, but Pinnacle Entertainment Group is who does Savage. That's who does Savage Worlds. Kevin's new assistant. I want to say his name's like Steven Jackson. I think that's his name.
Jackson.
No, not or Peterson, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Crap! I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We'll give him a shout out later. I promise. We'll go back in. I'll give him a shout out later. But so Savage Rifts, you've never played Savage Rifts.
I've never played Savage. Okay. I've never played Savage Worlds.
Oh,
you know what the crazy thing is? Those are my books that I have. So here I've never played Savage Worlds, and I heard about Savage Rifts, and I wanted to get into it really fast, and got really excited. A cousin of mine. Mm-hmm. He said, "Hey, I want you to play this game. You'll love it. You'll love the way that they approach Rifts." I was like, "Fantastic!" So he bought me that for Christmas, or no, my birthday last year. Tag me up. It's been a while.
The other thing that
my birthday comes up next month. Yeah. Holy smokes!
Now the thing that I want to point out to everybody also is that all four of these were in one box. So when you get into Savage Rifts, there's a box set you can buy that'll get you just about everything. That'll get you just about everything.
Oh my gosh!
You got the Core Savage World book right here, and then you've got the 3 North American books that you need, the 3 Rifts books that you need right there. And it all came in one box.
The one thing that they pointed out
great.
when it comes to Savage Worlds is, Savage World is more streamlined. Mm-hmm. So if you want all the nitty-gritty details about Rifts Worlds, you want to read the Palladium books.
So having the Palladium books is still
viable and still valid, right? But if you want a quick, streamlined game of Rifts, and you just want to, play, the Savage World rules, and you're okay with just, learning a little bit about the Rifts universe, and a little bit about the MDCs and all this other stuff, then you can play Savage Worlds without having to know all the rich history, without having to know about all the aliens in the, almost 40 world books, almost 24 dimension books.
2 dimension books, and then
the source books that are tons of those too. There's so much that if you dived into Rifts, this is almost a way to say, okay, if before you step into this, into this deep pool, you could try this. You can actually just learn the story, learn the backgrounds and some of the characters, and the rules are different, but the approach to these characters is roughly the same. So like the Coalition soldier is still a Coalition soldier.
Oh, yes.
The crazy is still a crazy. The juicer's still a juicer. There's not so much pulled away that they've lost their character.
Now, so the thing that has to be the big thing with playing Savage Rifts, like you said, can you get into this very quickly and very streamlined? The answer to that is very much Yes, because what Savage Rifts, the most phenomenal thing about Savage Rifts is how quickly, nothing against the old way of creating characters, we love taking days on end to make a character.
That's right. I love taking an hour to.
But with Savage Rifts, they've actually eliminated that. You really can make your characters really, really quick.
Well, that's okay
if you know what you're making, and so which I think those people, especially the people who know they're only going to get together,
all the characters,
and
who love the skills, who love the
and who love the one-offs,
and
what we were just talking about momentarily, and I get to it now. I'm going to SaltCon. If I find 3 people or more and an area that nobody's using, I can and will.
We could do
this.
Worlds.
We could do it. Why? Because it sets up and it plays that quick.
Well, if it does, you would almost create brand new players to the
game. And from my standpoint, I actually have 3 specific modules written for Savage Rifts. Yes, I have 3.
Ooh.
I have 3 very specific modules written for Savage Rifts.
Now, the one thing I found that I learned about Savage Rifts is when it came to Savage Rifts, the one hurdle that they had was MDCs and STCs, because
the line there,
that's clearly defined.
It is clearly defined, and there's a solid line there in Savage Worlds. That line's not so very solid.
That's right.
They've done the best job they can with their game mechanics, because their game mechanics don't rely solidly on the D20 rolls and then the math, because Palladium and D&D really do share that similarity. But in Savage Worlds as a mechanic relies entirely not upon the D20 but upon the other dice. Believe it or not, in Savage Worlds, the D20,
the D8.
Now,
D12.
In Savage Worlds, and I say this very specifically for all of you, so please listen. In Savage Worlds, D20 does not come up that much, rarely if ever. Savage Rifts, however, the D20 comes up a lot, because in Savage Worlds, the game mechanic is dictated
by the 20.
The higher the dice, the more awesome, the more epic, the more powerful what you are, what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish, and how much. That is what determines that.
Reflects on what
and in Rifts, that really is that's as fine as they can make the line. That's how you know you're dealing with mega damage, is when the D20 comes up. If you see the DM, when he breaks out that D20,
you're like,
know you're hosed, because that means that
you have to beat a certain
number. Well, again, and Savage Worlds.
If you're like
Savage Worlds Savage Worlds revolves around the fact that to succeed at any given task, you just need to score a 6 or better on a roll of 2 dice, because everything is basically determined by a roll of 2 dice. You roll 2 dice as a standard. It's typically a D6 and a D8, and all you need is between a 6 and an 8 to succeed.
And beat a certain marker number
at any given task. Now, when that's your byline for success, on average, when you roll a D20, that's a 10. So the average roll on a D20 is not only going to succeed, but it is also going to overwhelm.
Supersede.
Which means that, so that is kind of where they put that line, where on any given Friday, your guy's standing there with his 8, but if somebody over there has mega damage armor, he gets to roll a D20. He's going to bury you. Whatever he does to you is going to break your bones or splatter you or whatever.
I'm showing up with my sword and my gun. Oh yeah, I'm showing up with my MDC armor.
So that everybody knows, that is the MDC line that has been created specifically for Savage Rifts. Is the not only the use of single D20s, but multiple D20s, because as we know, mega damage gets pretty high in some of these situations as well.
And I do like the way that they do storytelling in Savage Worlds. Well,
they're very do or don't. So.
Exactly, and it really cuts out the need for an hour of combat play, or you can now focus primarily on the storytelling,
Oh yes.
and you can almost say this is what's going on in the background while you guys are trying to talk it out with the leader, because leader still sent his troops against your troops, and so while you're talking to him in his fortress, here he is, in the background you're hearing screaming and dying and gunfire.
Oh yes.
And you're hoping that you can resolve this conflict a little bit sooner than, I don't know, before everyone dies.
Things really can happen a lot faster, a lot quicker in Savage Rifts. Now that being said, though, now we have to address, and having run Savage Rifts a couple of times even, the biggest tricky parts, again, it kind of comes again with the mega damage, because there is a list of world specific feats, because Savage Worlds runs along the line of you have these stats, and once you have these stats, and once you have these skills, the only other thing you have are your edges and your hindrances.
Right.
Through edges are how you obtain things like I'm psychic, I'm magic. And once you take that, you're like, oh well, then you get to pick powers, and there you go. Through edges, you also obtain the big one that I know everyone's wondering about. And in case you can't find it, don't feel bad. I had a hard time finding it too. There is one called Elan. Elan. Lots of occupations have Elan. Juicers have it. Crazies have it. Blind warrior women have it. And to let everyone know what it is you're not mega damage, but you have stamina and willpower. That's what it does. And that's really all it does. You get a bonus dice to your stamina and your willpower. That's what it does. You get that extra dice. You get that extra bonus to those things. That's what it does. Because I know that everyone's wondering. I had to find it myself, and I passed this information on to all of you.
We'll figure out the page number.
So there you go. It's called Elan. Well, I just know that everyone's reading through the books and they see, ooh, Elan, what's that? Because it's actually that's the thing. It's not nailed down. No.
Oh.
It's as I said, I had to find it. But I think they actually have printed that though, because see, you have a different book than I do. See, I have this one. But you have the one that you have that I don't. See, you have the brand new. Yeah, this is
brand new.
This is Savage Worlds. This is the Adventures edition, specifically for Rifts.
Right.
So I'm actually going to take a look here. Rules. Okay, we got rules. Savage Worlds. Yay, Savage Worlds! Wow.
This is all. It's a straight up Savage World book.
The Adventure Kit rules.
It's the
gear. Gear is good. Where is so there's gear. Oh, characters. Wow. Can't have too many of those. And then...
Tries to cover every character you could possibly create.
Those, okay.
And you're like, oh, well...
Trade... Okay. Edges, there we go. And I'm sure it... Elan, there it is! I found it, Elan. Elan means energy or spirit. Those who have it rise to the occasion when the going gets toughest. When you spend a Benny... You get addition onto the Benny roll. I'll tell you what that really means in a minute. And the bonus applies to your trait rolls as well. So, like I said, it's a bonus. It's also it's a stat bonus. So there you go.
There you go.
Anyway, for those of you who are not familiar with Savage Worlds, and because I don't just want to lock my boy out, we're gonna do a little hopefully very brief
savage thing.
We're gonna do a little savage thing for all y'all. I know you don't have dice with you on hand.
I remember that they have.
But don't worry. So because like I said, this is just for the audience, and I'm going to tell you how it happens. So Nate,
yes,
pick a Rift character, any character.
Let's go with the just classic juicer. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you're taking a juicer. All right, so in Savage World, you've got your 5 stats.
Right.
Typically, there's strength. Right?
Intelligence.
Strength. There's strength.
Right.
And agility.
Right. That makes sense.
Smarts.
Sure, that makes sense.
Spirit.
That's one I'm not familiar with.
And vigor. There you go.
And vigor. Again, I'm not
familiar
with this.
And upon these 5 stats, will everything you do be based upon?
That seems okay. All right.
As a juicer, what do you think? What do you think your big stats are actually going to be as a juicer?
They're probably going to be in strength and probably vigor and agility.
Oh yes.
That's probably where the big ones lie.
Now, as character creation goes, you will start with edges. Because in Rifts, in Savage Rifts, you start with edges. In regular Savage World, you don't. In regular Savage Worlds, you only start with 1. Now, if you're human, you get another 1. But in Savage Rifts, based upon what you are, you start with a whole bunch of edges. But the game remains balanced, even though, Juicer, you are going to start tough as nails, stronger, you probably have Elan, and quick, agile, nimble. These are all things that you start with.
Okay, good.
But on the other side of your coin, you are addicted.
Oh. There is that, yes. I'm going to be addicted.
Short lifespan.
That's right. I expect that.
Quirky.
Probably very, very quirky. Yes.
So the game still balances out. For all of these edges that you start with based upon what you are, the game also comes back and makes sure that you have hindrances on the other side to keep it interesting and to keep everyone out.
Play on those things and pull them out.
Yes, exactly. And so what now? And what this means, and what I'm going to tell you then, since your strength, agility, and vigor are nice and high, if I were to tell you to swim, are you going to pass that?
Maybe.
Easily.
Because I have the strength and I have the vigor.
Yes. If I tell you to jump from one building to another.
Probably going to make
easily, yes. Can you pick up a car? You can probably do that one pretty fairly easily too.
Yeah, sure. Maybe.
And who's going first? You or the other guy?
Probably me, because I'm faster and stronger.
Now, and because I promised everyone I would bring it up, bennies. Part of the Savage World system.
Oh,
bennies
are bennies.
It's your reroll. Everyone starts with actually Savage Worlds.
Don't they start with 1?
Everyone starts with 1.
Right, and then you can accumulate more, but
it's also,
if you don't use them at the end of the game or at the end of the session, they're gone. Except for your 1.
Except for your 1, yes.
The following day or the following game night,
you're just back to 1. Yes, this is very true.
So you want to use your bennies all the time.
You do want to use those bennies all the time. And that's all a benny is. It's either I can re-roll what I rolled, because my roll just stunk, or what a benny does, but that's after the fact. That's benny after the fact.
Right.
After you roll, that roll sucked, I want to re-roll it.
Or you
can announce, I'm going to benny this roll, and you get to add, it is a D12. It's a D12, actually. Oh. You get to add a D12 to the roll.
To the roll?
You
could still screw it up by rolling a 1.
You could still screw it up, yes.
But you roll a 12.
But what this also means, though, we're going to go back to that poor chump who brought his sword to a mega damage fight against a...
against Gunboy.
Against a coalition grunt.
Right.
But if he decides to benny that roll, well... I think he hit the grunt. I think what they're saying is, no matter what mega steel that grunt is made of,
right?
Maybe there was a crack in his armor somewhere, or maybe the separation of the plates makes you more vulnerable to knives and gunfire.
Sure. I'll go
for whatever reason, the swordsman can benny his roll to attack, and if he beats the grunt and successfully hurts him. Well, gosh darn it, clearly he got that sword into that grunt somewhere, some way, somehow. Write the story, because that's just awesome.
You know what? I like that because they're able to make a story.
But as you said, that Benny could just be another 1, so it might not happen at all.
Yeah, it might not happen. Right, but I think that's what Savage Worlds was trying to go for. They were trying to say, "Hey, listen, I want you to have still a fantastic story, no matter how strong or how amazing your villain is. Your hero can easily, or not easily, can still match somehow, even by a fraction, that villain. You know, he can throw that broadsword as hard as he can and Benny the roll, and then roll a 12, and by thunder, that sword just happens to sink right into the villain. And you're like, yes, and everyone around the table cheers. You know, something along those lines. I think it would be. I need to play this sometime. Right. I really do.
And for those of you who are worried, what about Palladium has a vast cadre and a vast array of psionics and magic spells.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh.
The books they have listed
books that are separate for the subject.
Well, yes and no. Not every spell is in the game, but that's okay. Because I have found, and what I have heard from the Palladium Open House and from other people who run Savage Rifts.
Oh, for Savage Rifts, yeah.
Well, what a lot of us actually do is in the Savage game, when you take a magical power, because that's actually what it looks more like, right. Especially if you have the superhero book like I do.
Right.
It doesn't so much give you a greater list of spells, but rather it gives you more powers. It expands on the powers. Yeah. So, as I've discussed, and I'm not sure if the others do it sounds like this is what they do. So what we do is we look at this power. For example, one of the powers is Bolt.
Okay.
So when I look at the power Bolt, what I say to the person who's casting a spell, I ask them, and I say, you can put your own spin on it if you know the spells. Heck, write them all down. They all cost the same all of a sudden, so why not? So Bolt, whether you're casting at level 1, and it comes in levels, you spend 1, 2, or 3 1, 2, or 3 power points, to cast the spell. So you can cast Bolt at level 1, Bolt at level 2, Bolt at level 3.
Right.
And the way that I kind of just tell the players, the people that are really familiar with Palladium books, it's Lightning Arc, Call Lightning, and Sorcerer's Fury. That's just how you can add all those lovely, wonderful, delicious spells to a single given power. And it all depends on what element they want to use. It's all the same thing. Firebolt, Fireball, Dragonfire. I mean, yeah, it's
right.
You can tier, but it's all the same power. It's all the same one ability. It's just called Bolt, and it specifically says that that's what it is. You are hurling a blast of elemental-based energy at the target.
Okay.
So, which bolt, what kind of bolt it is, they've totally given the power to the player.
That's fantastic.
They've given the power of the story and the power of what element it is to the player.
I can see where some players might get a bit frustrated because they want the specificity.
Some people love specificity, yes.
But I could see people who say, hey, listen, you know what? I just want to play a game. Yeah. I want to play a game about Rifts.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the Rifts game with all of its, crazy crunchy specifics, right? But I want to play a game where I have a great night story. Maybe it's a one-off. Maybe it's, a couple of nights. Or maybe you're visiting your friends, from, across the country, and you want to spend a couple of nights playing games, and then you're going to go home to your home state or country. Doesn't matter. I assume we have friends all over the country, all over the world.
Last open house, they were from Australia. It was great.
There you go.
And Britain.
And
great.
Germany.
And Germany. We love the Germans.
Yeah. So if you are just wanting to have something, just wanting to have fun, a Savage Worlds would be perfect. Because you're not spending an hour creating a character, trying to establish background, establish all these details that you need in a Rifts game, a Palladium Rifts game.
Yes.
You could have a Savage Worlds Rifts game and skip, glance over. I don't want to say skip. Glance over some of the details that need to be happen, and then you're able to use stuff like Bolt.
Well, I tend
to describe the 3 spells that you say that you want to have for your, say, I don't know, combat mage, or your Leland
Battle
Walker,
Magus,
whatever,
Mystic
right?
Knight, Biomancer, Necromancer, whoever it is
You
that
name
you happen
it.
to have there, yeah. Okay, and I guess just and to cover this quickly, just so we go through the whole thing. So Savage Worlds, it's also point based. Now I like to keep a core rule book handy,
Right,
So
you
that we
need
can
to.
still, in case because who doesn't love height, weight, age, disposition, birth order, environment,
Right.
background. You can still randomly roll out all
I
that
love
stuff.
that. I
and it's
love those
great.
details.
And so I keep a core rulebook around for that. But as far as creating the character goes, it's point based. This many points gets you this stat. Stats are represented by dice. D4 lowest, weakest. D12 is the typical cap.
Typically highest, right.
Unless you're playing Savage Rifts, and Savage Rifts, there's now a D20.
D20.
You can actually get that to D20, even multiple D20.
But that means
even multiple D20s in point
that
of
means your
fact.
dragons and your supernatural intelligences and
Yes,
all these
exactly.
other incredible
Which
creatures
by
can be in
the
game.
way, Savage Rifts, dragons and glitter boys are back at the top of the food chain. No,
Oh yeah.
no, you don't beat those guys. Not without a bigger dragon or a bigger robot.
Right. Makes sense.
But as far as the single one piece of whatever that is now ultimate, dragons and glitter boys are back up at the top. They're at the top of the food chain.
And they should be.
So, and as they always should be, and as they were always meant to be, yes. Now, and again, just to finish tapping that out, it is point based. So you put points into your stats. You put points into your skills, and then typically it tells you what edges you start with, which hindrances you start with.
Right, and that.
But you are always welcome under their rules if there are still points left. You are welcome to buy more edges.
Right.
And you are also welcome to take more hindrances to get more points if you want them. So there you go. Well, hey, look, even juicers can lose a limb. All right.
Put your juicer, juicier.
No, okay. Somebody did that. There was in one of my modules. There actually is. I have a steed-based character.
Okay.
Now, the last time I ran this module, they decided that their mutant steed, because they decided that because it's in the desert, so he decided that he wanted to be a camel. I said, okay, fine, it's a camel.
Mutant camel.
And that mutant camel, but he also decided that he was a juicer too. So
a juiced up camel.
It was a juiced up camel. Now, this was an awesome character, but to make that character, but to make that character, you better believe that before the game was over, he juiced too much and he exploded. So,
no way.
So you can take more flaws to get juicier. God, that's a bad way to say
Oh my gosh!
In other words,
awesome.
But that's just to tell everyone how the game actually works. You've got your traits, your skills, edges, hindrances, and then gear, and that really is the game right there. So
yeah,
that really is the character. Anything else you want to add, you
the
can, but it's not an actual part of the game. As far as creating just the character, there's stat points, skill points, edges, hindrances, and then your gear. Whatever money you gave yourself, which, by the way, you do have to do that, by the way.
You have to give money to yourself?
Well, there is gear that you start with.
Right.
But they've actually gone very minimalist, okay? It's like a backpack, a radio.
Right, that's simple stuff.
A backpack, a radio, rope, and a canteen. More than that, you probably have to buy it. So,
all right, I guess.
Or sorry, and a survival knife. Always the survival. Always a pocket knife. Everybody gets a pocket knife.
Okay, all right.
Everyone gets a pocket knife. So that is the game in a nutshell.
But really, do you need more than that? I mean, seriously, what?
Well, the rest is the story, like you said. The rest you've got the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got the story right here. It tells you because you got techno wizards, but you've actually got to survive and thrive. We've got there's the glitter boy. We love him.
Side Stalkers.
Great. I just love
Dude, I love the art in these books.
It is. The art in these
fantastic
books is
stuff.
amazing. So, But that being said, again, these are
Psy Stalkers.
Yeah, these. Okay.
Juicers.
Oh no. Okay. So no, the story's back here. That's right. It goes into the story's more towards the back.
I
here.
like that you can actually buy this book.
It tells you how, it tells you how the cybernetics work, how ground rules work. Wow. Here is. I guess they didn't stint on the weapons. All the weapons are.
Oh yeah, a ton of weapons.
It looks like they managed to keep most of the weapons there.
5 pages of weapons.
We still get 5 pages of weapons, but the rest of it is
very, it's character driven. So
actually, this is not that. This actually is not the book. I guess it's in another book. That actually is. Oh, that's the player's guide. The other book actually has all the storyline in it.
Well,
but
see, I don't.
No,
have
but
all of the
but what
books.
I'm showing you, but what I'm going to show everybody though. This is actually the book that you want. Okay, this is the player's guide. Now, there's another book. It's the actual core book.
World book, yeah.
The core book or the world book, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I think it's still called the core book.
I need to get it.
The core book actually has the story in it.
Ooh.
With the core book, you have the story. And, I don't think it was in here, because guess what we didn't see in here?
You know the one?
No, there's no coalition in here. So the core book has all the coalition stuff in it.
Right.
So, there you go.
The one thing that someone told me that they had an issue with is that there were so many books. I was like, dude, welcome to the world of Palladium and to the world of Savage Worlds. There's many books. But you know what? They don't want you to lean on the books. They want you to lean on your imagination. So,
well, I remember back in the day, back when we were kids, if you remember, the way that it worked with me is every time a new book came out, that was just what me and my buddies did. We'd run a game,
excited.
But we'd run a game out of just that one book.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which the fact that I have every book tells you how many games I've run. But
me too. Me too.
Your government is not crazy. We can prove it.
Look at the books behind me.
What do we have here? We got Robotech, the old ones, Mount Nimrod, and the Mysteries of Magic. That's what we got first today.
And the Galaxy, Briff's Black Market.
And the Black Market, yep.
Manhunter.
Manhunters are great.
Book still. Get your hands on that book.
Oh, yeah. So I think we've been savage enough for one day.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Has it been savage?
You guys,
was it brutal?
Yeah. So awesome.
Yes, it was.
Seriously. So, honestly, in conclusion, I would say get your hands on a couple Savage World books. Try something new. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Palladium loyalist, big time. You can see all my loyalties behind me. But trying out something new, try and, make new friends. Spread Palladium around a little bit, smear it. Take the opportunity to learn a new rule, learn a new style of Palladium riffs.
From my experience, yes, I'm about to spend 6 hours today making characters. So
that's fun.
I'm hoping we actually get some play in, though. I'm hoping we're able to do this quickly so that we actually get some play in.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Because what you did, that was actually really cool. I like that.
What?
We actually got to play the same day that we made the characters. Yeah. That was nice.
My goal is to try to get everyone character sheets done as fast as I can, but at the same time, I want them to actually dive in a little bit and so yeah, there was a little bit of skipping when it came to weapons and equipment, but I figured, you know what? This is a brand new fort, so weapons and equipment will probably be assigned to everybody.
Everyone had their stuff though, and I guess the big benefit there was that everybody knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah,
that was why that went as fast as it did,
and they were all on the same team.
And they were. Yes.
They may not have known each other, but they were all on the same team. And
that's why for me
backgrounds start coming out.
For me today, that is going to be a nightmare. But
I want the backgrounds to be to come out of the threads. Backgrounds bring out ex-lovers, ex-rivals, ex-this, ex-that, guys you owe money to, guys who are going to come down to Fort Polk and punch you in the face. Dude, it does.
That's
right?
why you don't take your helmet off.
But Eileen, Harold. You're like, crap. Something's going to happen.
Well, I say again, that's why you don't ever take
I kick over the table and take cover.
You got it. Hopefully we'll get to some more of that. Thank you very much. That's been our episode for
guys,
today. Like I said,
thank you so much. Yeah,
we've got a YouTube channel. You can also find us on Death Head Taco Truck and on Discord.
That's right.
And we will be bringing some more things to you quickly. But for today, it has been savage.
We are trying to make this once a month to make sure that you guys get a show maybe more than once a month. So, we will see you in June.
So savage. So savage. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, I'm Nathan.
I'm Matt.
You guys take care of yourselves.
And carry on, citizens, carry on.